Hi everybody, it's Denna Babel with the Fatherless Daughter Movement. Today I'm going to talk about lesson number 10. I'm really excited because it's about men. We all love men. We love to love them. We love to hate them. And we always wonder, should we keep them or should we ditch them? So today I want to talk about the reasons why you should keep this wonderful man you have or ditch this not so wonderful man you have. And how do you know if he's a good guy? So, many of us listen to our friends for advice and we kind of abort going with our gut because we're in love or he's hot or he's got some cash or he treats us wonderful or our children love him or whatever it is. But how do you know if he's the right guy for you? Because you don't want to waste your time. Time is precious, ladies. Do not waste it. You want the 1 in a million and you want to wait for it. If you don't have it, you want to get rid of the one you have, and if you do have it, you want to be thankful for the guy you have. So I'm going to give you some reminders. So this is the deal. Patterns start. We learn our relationship patterns. They're born when we're children, and we learn it by watching our parents, duh. But what we don't know is that when we're in a pattern, sometimes we can't see it for what it is, because if you're so busy making it, you can't see it. Makes sense, right? So a lot of people ask me, how do I know if this is the guy? And if you're in the middle of your own personal issues, maybe from childhood or some things you're working through, you may be putting up with not the most stellar of relationships. And what do you do to get rid of them? What do you do about keeping them? You could be a little emotionally handicapped in the relationship part of life. If you didn't have the quintessential mom and dad relationship who stayed married and learned how to deal with conflict in the right way and show love. So what happens is you grow up and you say, I'm going to do it completely differently, but can you? Are you equipped to do it? I'm going to talk about that a lot in my next book, and it is called Why This Guy? Isn't that so cool? Why this guy? I love it. I'm so excited. I can barely stand myself. But let's get back to what's going on right now. So why this guy? Why do you stay in this relationship specifically, and when should you get out? So here's the reasons to stay, people. And I wrote them down for you because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget any of them. Here's the top 10 reasons. If you can be yourself around them, you have to be able to be yourself. You can't be a chameleon. I mean, look, we all act a little bit in the beginning. I acted like I loved sports initially because I thought, why not try it? Let me see if I can get into basketball or fantasy football with my now husband. What is it that he loves to do that I can jump on board? It's okay to initially try it out and see what you think you like, but don't be a chameleon. Be yourself. He'll love you for it because guess what? After the honeymoon phase, beautiful little you's going to pop out anyway and want to stay. Make sure that he's loyal and accepts you even when you mess up. So you don't want a martyr and you don't want a control freak. You want someone who's loyal. When you have a bad day or you get in an argument with a friend or someone at work, or you mess up in your own relationship with him because of some stuff in your past possibly, you want to be able to resolve that, and you want to know that he's loyal and he's not going to leave. That he loves you and shows you in the way he treats you. You should be able to say, if someone says, how do you know blank loves you? You should be able to name those reasons, by things he does for you and the way that he makes you feel. He trusts you in your judgment. Nobody wants a jealous freak. Let's just be real. He puts your needs ahead of his own in your time of need. So we don't want, a guy that's going to lay down and do everything for you because, then you're not challenged. But you do want a guy that puts your needs first, and when you need more of him, he's available. And that he gives you the time that you need to fulfill his part of the relationship so you also can fulfill his part of the relationship. He shares you with his friends and family. That's a no-brainer, ladies. If he's not taking you out on Friday and Saturday night, if he's not taking you around his family, if you're not a big part of his everyday life, that is a problem, okay? So make sure he's bringing you around every part of your life. I had a friend that had children and felt like she was dating this Mr. Wonderful, but he wasn't necessarily including the kids and everything. That's a flag. So make sure he's including you in everything he loves, and you're including him in everybody you love, friends, family, and vice versa. You can resolve conflict in an easy and loving way. Conflict yields resolution, so we want conflict, but as long as you're not throwing stuff at each other and slamming doors and yelling, that if you do lose your temper, you can resolve it and come back to a loving place. How you handle conflict really statistically tells if you're going to get a divorce or not. You have to be able to resolve conflict in a nice way, not a passive aggressive way. If you're one of the people that needs a little time to figure things out and step aside, you can say, I need a little space and I'll come back to you and we'll talk about this. But you got to be mature and you got to say, this is what I need, and you got to be able to handle it like a mature woman. Okay, ladies, no acting out. He's passionate about his own life and dreams. Find someone who's passionate. I'm not saying check out their bank account, although it's helpful, let's be real. But what I am saying is make sure he's passionate. If he's passionate about building things, if he's passionate about helping others, I mean, that's a plus. Whatever it is he does, not necessarily always in his profession, but make sure he has a dream and he's passionate, because that way you can dream with him and he'll also understand what it is that you want to do with your life, and you can be partners in that. Okay, 10 reasons to get out. To the left, get out. This is your red flag, ladies. This is why you're watching this. Get out if any of these top 10 things are going on in your world. He is irresponsible. If he tells you he's going to be there at a certain time, or promises he'll call, and it becomes a pattern and he doesn't do what he says he's going to do. If he's irresponsible in the way he takes care of his family, his children, his job, his bank account, flag. If he's untrustworthy, can you trust him to have your back? Can you trust him when he's not with you? Can you trust him in how he handles finances, how he handles your emotions? Can you trust him? That's a big one. If he's not sincere and your friends have tipped you off, ladies, listen to your posse, listen to your ladies. If there's a guy and a girl, one of your girlfriends says, I see a flag, pay attention. Don't be one of those girls that does not listen to your girlfriends. Oh my God, I can't stand it. Don't even get me on my soapbox. Listen, if someone sees a flag, pay attention. Obviously, you can make up your own mind, but pay attention. Is he lack self-esteem? You don't want someone that you have to mother. You don't want someone you have to build up. Obviously, not on a daily basis. Obviously, we always have issues and we have moments where we all feel insecure, and that's acceptable. We want to be there for one another. But you can't be his whole team. You can't be the rally, the cheerleaders, the mom, the dad. You know, you can't do all that. So make sure he has self-esteem and he knows where he's going and what he wants to do with his life. If he lacks adaptability, meaning plans change and he can't do it, or he won't adapt to something that you need in your life, something that's very important to you, that's a big one. That's a sign of someone being controlling, obviously, and someone who is probably not going to be that fun in your lifetime. If he lacks commitment in any or all areas of his life. So any lack of commitment with a job, with you, with responsibility, that tells you he's not maybe matured at the level you need to have a sustainable relationship. So just think about that. He might be fun, but if you're ready to get married and kind of settle in, he might not be your guy. If he is verbally, emotionally, or physically abusive, honey, you don't need any of that. If he's any of those three things, especially if he's one or two of them, bye, get out. If you have to change who you are to fit into his mold, this goes back to the chameleon thing. Don't change who you are. You're amazing. And you know that. Do not change. Obviously, if you're doing something that is harmful and he wants something that's better for you, that makes sense. But don't change your overall self. You have to be in love with yourself before you can love someone else. And I know that's basic advice, but it's so true. If you're not happy with who you are, you're going to try to project some of that onto someone else, and it's just not going to yield a really fun relationship. So look, guys and girls, we've all dated some frogs. We've all kissed some guys that we weren't very proud of. We've all taken a winter's nap with someone who's boring, or we've stayed in a relationship too long because we want to capture them or we want them to commit to us. Whatever the reason, you deserve the very best. Go back to the top 10 reasons to keep the guy. use that as a template. Use that as your playbook and do that. Don't do the top 10 reasons not to have them. It's not worth it. Life is fun. It's meant to be peaceful and loving, and you're meant to feel cherished. So look for that. Until then, I hope you enjoyed lesson number 10. Thanks, ladies.